John, Mark said, you're an engineering major. Obviously, that's a challenging major, but yet he still sees you in the building, in the football building all the time. That you make it look easy. How do you do that? How do you balance it?
Just time management, plain and simple. You just gotta handle your business when you're in the classroom and get all your studying out of the way. And then when I'm not doing that, I'm trying to get better on the football field and in the weight room. So that's why I'm over there.
Do you sleep? Like how many hours a night do you sleep?
I try to get in bed if I'm waking up at I usually try and wake up 2 hours before we lift just to get some food in me. So if we lift at 7 a.m., I'll wake up at 5 and then eat and hydrate and stuff like that, and just so I can be prepared to give a mile.
So you go to sleep when? If you're waking up
try
at
to
5.
be in bed at 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you dream about engineering or football?
I don't know. My dreams are kind of sporadic, so kind of a little bit of both, I guess.
Mark said it comes up in recruiting a lot. I'm sure there's a lot of parents that want to say, can my son get a real major and not have to, we don't want him. And that it's difficult because you have to acknowledge that it's tough, but he likes being able to point to you. What would you say to people that think, you can't play high-level football and do something like an engineering major?
I mean, that's a complete myth. I've talked to recruits all the time, just them asking me questions about what it's like, and it's tough, especially in those middle 2 years. It's a grind, and if you're willing to put in the effort, then it's completely doable. But there is a sense of luck because not all classes will line up, so there is some give and take there. But it is definitely doable.
Do your teachers judge you when they find out you're a football player? Do you ever feel like there's a sort of people? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is there a stigma attached to that? A dumb jock, maybe?
I think not a dumb jock thing, but I guess they do kind of. They're like, wow, it's pretty awesome that a football player is in my class, and I try to let them find it out. I try not to let them know, but when you wear a Kentucky football shirt in there, they're kind of like, oh, this kind of makes sense now.
As someone who's trying to become, I guess, an expert on building things, where in this building process do you see Kentucky? I mean, how far along? Are we talking still infrastructure, or putting polishing up the windows now?
We're trying to get a lot more fine-tuned right now, and Coach Stoops has laid a great foundation that we've been able to build off of ever since he's been here, and we're looking forward to putting it all together this season.
John, how difficult is it to be a leader when you're maybe not as vocal as you want to be? We've talked about that with you a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of think leading is a lot by example first. You got to be able to lead yourself before you can lead anyone else, and then it's not. I think most people think that leading is getting in someone's face when really that's not what you really have to do all the time. You can take a more indirect method to leading and, just take an alternate route. It doesn't always have to be confronting someone in their face in front of a whole group. It can be by other means.
John, the way your mind works as it relates to engineering, how does that help you, if at all, when it comes to learning a playbook or reading a defensive front or things like that? Do you think you assimilate that information maybe a little easier?
I don't think so. I think it's just time and effort that you're willing to put into it. And just like school, if a concept's difficult to you, you gotta put it in terms in your head of what makes sense to you. So everyone has their own unique way of learning stuff, and if they're willing to take the time to learn it and put it in terms that they can understand, then everyone's going to have a different amount of time that it takes them.
How does it feel to be on watch lists?
Oh, it's great, but it doesn't really mean anything. It just means people are watching out for you.
Well, it means they've noticed your hard work.
Yeah, they've noticed, but it's a starting point, I guess.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years, hopefully playing in the NFL. That's always been a goal of mine, so that would be awesome.
Have you done any internships or anything related to your major?
I haven't done any internships, like classic internships. I've worked with, working with a professor right now, and I worked with a professor in May just doing research with them, so that's about the most hands-on experience I've gotten.
What kind of research?
In May, I was doing research for my capstone project. We're working on a tow tank in the basement of the engineering building, just trying to get that thing up and running.
What is that?
And then a tow tank, so you tow an object through the water, and we're just working on the design of the force sensing system that'll capture the forces on the object and then relay that to the computer so you can kind of get a sense of the forces acting on the object.
That totally makes sense to me.
Yeah,
It's like a TOW tank, right? Is that the
yeah,
tow?
like
Okay.
towing,
Yeah.
singular of towing, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, and then this summer session, the second one I've been working on. I'm working with a professor he specializes in noise reduction. So we're working on insulating this partial enclosure, just reducing the noise that is coming out of it essentially.